Hello everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood capitalist, and welcome back to Ascetic New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Better late than never. And for those of you just joining us who may not know what an Ascetic run is, well, just go ahead and check the description. Today we're going to go ahead and do World 2. Now, a little disclaimer for World 2, I kind of feel bad about some of the things I did in this video. Namely, using outside power-ups for a few levels. Also, there were two levels in particular where I grabbed the midpoint and then immediately went back to touch an enemy to hurt myself. Mainly because it was taking me tons of tries to do the first half of that level, and by the time I finally managed to do the first half of the level in an ascetic fashion, I didn't want to have to go through that again, lest something bad happened in the second half. And surprisingly, in both those levels where I went to grab the midpoint, I didn't die in the second half. So I guess I just needed that little psychological boost there. But I promise to try not to do that going forward, because that's just a cheap way out. And finally, the castle for this level. Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't feel bad about it, but yeah, it's impossible to do in an ascetic fashion because of a P-switch. Yeah, that's unavoidable. So, yeah, this won't be a pure ascetic run, but I think we came to terms with that a while ago. But anyway, I've gone on long enough. Enjoy World 2. Alright, so we're starting things off with World 2-1, or Level 2-1. I still have to get used to the nomenclature there, but yeah, the propeller suit, I needed it. I needed it for that section at the very beginning, because I don't think it's possible to squeeze in between the upper platform and the coins even while small. I gave it a lot of tries and I would always just grab at least one coin, so yeah, I just had to go back and get the propeller suit. Also, I kind of feel a little bad for using it to cheese through the level, but hey, I came through a few close calls, I will say. Well, as close as you're going to get when you're using a propeller suit to fly above everything in the level. I really don't have much to say here. I'm just using the propeller suit to cheese through everything. This is so bad and sad. But hey, I mean, I needed it. I need to enunciate better to get through the very first part of the level, so hey, why not use it to my advantage, I guess. Even though I almost died countless times. And yep, just showing off that grabbing the very top of the flagpole nets you no points unless there's an enemy on the screen. But then again, if an enemy's on the screen, even if you get the minimum number of points on the goal, that's still extra points for you. So, yeah, unavoidable points right there. Can't scroll the screen. What are you going to do about it? Anyway, level 2-2, and once again, I have the propeller suit. Now, this part, like this whole area right here, is possible to do without the propeller suit. Like, you know, you can accomplish it small. There's just one section in particular where it's impossible. Either that, or maybe there is somebody out there who's better at New Super Mario Bros. Wii than I am, who can pull it off, but in my experience, this section right here is impossible as small Mario. Because it just gets crowded with Koopas, and you might accidentally touch one, and yeah, it just doesn't even seem all that possible. Like I said, maybe there is somebody out there who can do some pixel perfect jumps, but I am not that person. No siree. But yeah, everything after that is pretty much standard fare, and I tried to keep it like as ascetic as possible. Well, I mean, okay, I tried to keep it, you know, as just non-cheap as possible. Let's go with that, by sort of limiting the use of my propeller suit. Even though I did kind of like, you know, cheaply use it a few times before this point. But hey, I mean, you know, it's the effort that counts, I guess. But yeah, aside from that Koopa section, this level, rather easy. Oh my god, why can't I talk today? Rather easy to do aesthetically. Okay, well this part too might give you a little trouble, but if you just, you know, have good timing and watch where the platforms are going, that should be fine. I don't know why I was playing like so uber carefully though. I mean, I have a freaking propeller suit. I can just fly over everything. Whatever. That's level 2 complete. And now onward to level 2-3, the first true ascetic level of this video, because I'm doing it without a power-up. Yeah, a level where you're platforming in the dark. This one took me a few tries because you really can't react to anything. You kind of have to memorize where certain things are. And, you know, since the coins don't give off light, you definitely have to remember where they are. But yeah, the key to this level is to be slow and careful, and I mean, that's not really what you think of when you play a Mario game. You kind of just, you know, run through everything, dodge enemies, and jump and have fun. Not really play stealthily like this. But, hey, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do at the end of the day. You know, plus the fireballs coming from random spots doesn't really help matters. But it's not all that bad. I was just playing extra careful here, even when I probably could have walked underneath the fireballs or ducked. I don't know, I just wanted to be careful. You got a fire brother right there. In 2D, they are some of the scariest enemies you will ever encounter. Well, not as scary as Hammer Brothers. For some reason, Hammer Brothers are scarier. But yeah, you really want to get to the very top of there because, well, of course you're not going to make it down that slope without grabbing any coins. Yeah, the reason you want to go up top is so you can make it to this pipe right here, and no, it does not take you to the warp room. It takes you right here, the end of the stage. And just showing how much of a coward I am. Yeah, I was just going to wait for that Koopa to get out of the way. I was not going to take any chances trying to dodge him on those steps because there was no way I was about to try and redo that level again after how well things went. Mario time indeed. But now with level 2-3 out of the way, we can go to the fortress. Now this fortress took me a few tries too. It's not all that bad, but there is like one little section as you go up. Well, I can't really say section, but like something is just really randomized as you make your way up, and that can really mess you up. Plus there's some rather hard jumps around coins too. But yeah, those little what was I about to say? Orange, purple fireballs flying at you. They're completely random where they come from. I can't say random, I think they do depend on your location on the screen, but yeah, they can give you a rough time if you're not careful. And I was just trying to be fancy there. It backfired in my face. I almost walked into that skeleton and killed myself. That would have been very sad. Yeah, right here is like one of the hard jumps. You have to jump like low enough so that you don't hit the coins, but just high enough that you don't touch the very edge of the spikes. You also want to avoid any and all power blocks because, yeah, they kill everything on the screen. Plus, I think you actually do get points for using them too, like even if there's nothing on the screen. Don't quote me on that though. Yeah, I really don't have much else to say here. Everything else is just sort of standard fare. You just want to be really careful right here, sort of repeating the jumps you did earlier. Well, not really jumps, but that one jump is preparing you for this. Only now you have a fireball just coming at you constantly in your face. Well, I think it did at the first one of the jumps of this kind, but you all know what I mean. And with that, we're free to enter the door and fight. Who did we fight? I don't know, I'm recording this like, I'm recording the commentary about a week after I actually recorded these. But yeah, that's Roy. Roy is not in fact my boy. He's kind of very annoying because I always hated his castle in Super Mario World. That was the main reason why I wasn't able to beat the game until I was, what, 21? Yeah. I'm bad at old school video games. Who would have thought? But yeah, he does his little earthquake thing. You want to be in the air as he lands so that you don't get stunned. And he's Roy. He's easy. He's easy. Even in Super Mario World, he was easy. It was just his castle that was hard. You know, just like in this game, he was an easy boss to fight, but trying to complete his castle in an ascetic fashion, pretty hard. So anyway, now we're at World 2-4, or Level 2-4. Just gotta remember, I'm calling them level. And this one is a pain. Because, yeah, the wind is blowing a wall of coins at you. So pretty much what you want to do here, well, what I found best to do is run. Pretty much parkour Mario right here. Yeah, the coins don't despawn either. Like, so if you don't, like, hurry up, you will actually, like, the coins will just catch up to you eventually. But yeah, like, that was about my 15th attempt, and I finally made it to the midpoint. So I was like, screw this, I'm just gonna grab it, then go back and immediately get hurt. Fun, like, just funny enough, I did not die in this, like, attempt after I grabbed the midpoint. So yeah, I guess it was just the idea of having insurance really sort of calmed my nerves. Besides, if I hadn't grabbed that midpoint and dodged those coins, that same wall of coins would have still been following me, and that would have been some rough stuff. But yeah, you want to do a little neat little wall jump there to avoid those coins, and there you go. That's the end of the stage. See, I made that look a lot easier than it is, but really you just want to, like, know where to jump, how to jump, and just keep rushing forward so that the wall of coins never touches you. Or you could always just, like, stand at one spot and do some, like, good jumping and ducking to avoid them. But yeah, right here, level 2-5. This is 2-5, right? Yeah, let's go with that. You kind of sort of need the propeller suit to get past the first pokey. He's kind of unavoidable. And then you have a Lakitu right here. And, like, yeah, you would think, you know, having a propeller suit for these levels puts you at an advantage, but when there's a Lakitu, you have to take the low road, and you can't propel yourself up because, you know, you'll propel yourself right up into the Lakitu. Or you might accidentally kill him, and you can't have that. Yeah, this level, though, it's rather easy to complete. Nothing too hard. Just that you need to use the propeller suit at the very beginning. Maybe it is possible to get past it, I'm not sure, because you could stand on the tree to jump over the pokey, but at the same time there's like 3 coins right at the very top of the tree, and I don't think they're possible to dodge. I tried a few times and yeah, no dice. I'm also still shocked I was able to make it out of Pokey Avenue right there without getting hurt whatsoever. Unavoidable, couldn't scroll the screen, Pokey would stay on the screen. Those points, just couldn't do anything about them. And now we come to level 2-6. This was another one I grabbed the midpoint on because this first half is brutal. I mean, you have dancing coins and this rotating platform. This took quite a few tries. And yeah, even though my life counter may not change too much during these attempts, like, well, that's mostly because I was like immediately pressing start and then exiting the stage when I saw I was about to die, or I accidentally touched a coin or killed an enemy and stuff like that. And yeah, spin jumping through that gap right there, that is some tough stuff to time. But hey, I finally managed to do it, and I figured that was the only way to make it past that little section without grabbing the coins, unless I would have jumped off this rotating mushroom block at its apex and landed on those dancing blocks. But yeah, this just this first half, it was really tough for me, and that's why I had to grab the midpoint and then immediately touch a piranha plant. And just like with the windy coin level, once I grabbed that midpoint, nothing bad happened. I mean, of course you gotta watch out for this, are they called fire chomps? I don't think so. Well, whatever these guys are, you gotta watch out for them. I think this was their first appearance since Super Mario Bros. 3. And they're still just as annoying as ever. But yeah, you just want to stay calm around him and, you know, carefully dodge his attacks. Thankfully, most of them will hit the rotating block, so there's not much dodging required on your part. Until he starts homing in on you when he's all out of fireballs to shoot. And with that, we're free to go down the pipe and end this stage. So yeah, the second half considerably easier than the first half. Yeah, I wasn't even about to try and even go for the top of the flagpole. Not with those coins up top. And with that, we now come to the castle of World 2. And as I said, this one is impossible to do in an ascetic fashion. And this was actually my second attempt because I went back to grab a propeller suit because this jump right here seemed impossible as small Mario. Maybe if I would have timed some perfect wall jumps, I would have been able to make it. Well, that jump right there over those coins, that probably would have been impossible too. But yeah, this is a maze castle. You just want to follow the correct path. It's trial and error if you don't know the path, you know, from prior knowledge. And see, I mean, so far it seems easy to do in an ascetic fashion, but it's just the P-switch that screws you up. And that made me so sad. I was thinking, like, here I am, I'm doing good at this level, and oh, P-switch, seriously, I forgot these were in the game. Either that, or maybe I did remember they were in the game, but I just forgot that this is like the only level where hitting one is required for progress. Seriously, I think it is. And yeah, this was just me being in denial because I was thinking, like, no, maybe it is possible to do this without hitting the P-switch, but no, you have to hit the P-switch and take the middle path. It was like they knew that one day I would be trying to do an ascetic run of this game, and then they would just be like, you know what, let's make it so that he absolutely has to get coins. Nah, that's very stupid thinking on my part. Nintendo was not, you know, planning this game based on a random hard mode self-imposed challenge that some random small-time guy on YouTube would do one day. Yeah, I'm just struggling to think of things to say because there's really not much to say about this level. Yeah, I mean, I had to bite the bullet and grab those coins, and, you know, unavoidable. But whatever, we're about to fight Roy again. And because I wasn't able to treat this level, you know, as a true ascetic level, I did end up getting hurt during this fight, but I didn't restart because, well, what would be the point? I mean, I'd have to get the coins again, so yeah. So like my previous hypothesis, well, at the very beginning of the first video for this little series, was that it's impossible to complete the game, you know, truly ascetic, and this castle really does prove it. Because it's not like you can even take like the cannon to skip worlds, because you need to collect star coins to use the cannons, and star coins give you points. So yeah. So I guess for all sakes and purposes, this ascetic run should be considered complete. But I'm still gonna go ahead and, you know, finish the entire game. Probably not World 9 though. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to finish up the remaining levels to see if there are any more levels out there that can be done without collecting any coins or collecting any points that aren't, you know, directly tied to the end goal. But yep, with Roy dead or defeated and me accidentally going back into the castle for some reason, we are done with World 2. So at that, join me next time for what is more than likely going to be my own little hell. World 3, Ice World. Oh boy, this is going to be tough. Alright, thank y'all for watching. Have a great day. Hope you all enjoyed, and see you next time for some more Ascetic New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Man, I really wish this had a better title and or acronym. But alright, goodbye folks.